Oh man, this next gentleman, I asked the manager for his number because I saw him at a club. Oh, it was too fucking far. I drove down to Comedy and Magic in Hermosa. That's so fucking far. I wore one of them astronaut diapers on the phone. I took a poop in front of the Getty. It was so far. I've been driving since noon. This is horrible. But the good thing is I saw this guy and I asked the manager for his number so he could come work out with us on gym night here. He's from Fresno.
Oh.
Is that bad? Yeah. She sounded like she found somebody on He's Am from Fresno that ruined her fucking life. Oh, he from Fresno. Shit. Saw him in a movie the other night. I was, you ever surfing and you say, oh, I know, that's my friend. He was on a movie called Be Cool. This is one of the most unique and funny men in our business. Ladies and gentlemen, Darren Carter.
Everybody's Darren Carter. We all know he's the party starter. So if you want to listen to a podcast for free, then listen to The Pocket Party.
And we're back. Hey everybody, it's your host Darren Carter, the party starter. Dates out the gates. Come see me live. I'll be in El Paso, Texas, San Diego, Clovis, and Oxnard. El Paso, Texas, November 14th to the 16th. I'll be in San Diego, November 21st to the 23rd. Clovis, California, right after Thanksgiving, 11/29. And I'll be in Oxnard at Levity Live, December 8th. And as you know, you can see my links on my link tree, which is located on my Instagram. So go to my Instagram, click that link, and see where I'll be. And we're going to be joined right now by Mr. Mike Black.
Hello.
Hello, Mike Black. How are you, sir?
Yeehaw.
You're a biscuit of, let me see how this goes. You're a wagon train of gravy, and you got biscuits for wheels.
That's not even remotely close to what it is.
Damn it. There's biscuits and there's gravy in there. I know that.
I'm on a gravy train with biscuit wheels.
Oh, damn it. Oh boy, I gotta start saying that.
There's no wagon involved.
I'm on a gravy train with biscuit wheels. I like that.
That's an old Bill Murray said it on a couple of different things, and I always thought it was really funny.
There's a lot of phrases out there that I want to memorize and just create this whole persona. I mean, I'm halfway there with my bolo ties and my belt buckle and my cowboy boots and my Western shirts that I've been wearing lately. So I'm like,
I really think you're slowly transforming into Tahoe Joe.
I know, my original name, right?
Yeah.
I'm like, screw it, man. Once you get over 50 and you're from Fresno, you're like, what am I doing, man? I'm not like some cool 30-year-old. I'm like, just go for it.
Yeah, go the full Burt Reynolds sort of vibe, you know?
Yeah, exactly. Next thing you know, the full Burt Reynolds. Like, I do work out, so one day you'll see me doing a photo shoot where I'm on a bearskin rug with my shirt off. Yeah.
You're always sleeping in a hammock for some reason.
Chewing on straw and just looking, you know. Yeah. It is kind of funny whenever female fans come up to me, because I know it's just comedy and it's just a joke, and you know, it's not what it is. But I like to make a joke. I was at the Laugh Factory a couple of weeks ago in the Long Beach Laugh Factory at the merch table, and this lady came up to me and she was like, "I'm so excited to see you. You're so funny. I saw you at the Covina Laugh Factory, and I'm going to see you tonight, and we're just so excited." And then she walked away, and I turned to the hostess and I go, "See, I'm this generation's Elvis Presley." You know, which is like sadly, I'm the furthest thing from Elvis, but you know, looks wise.
Not the furthest, but
yeah.
You know. That's a fun response though to give.
I'm this generation's Elvis. You know what I'm saying? You know, like
for one lady.
Yeah, for one lady. Yeah, one lady who had Elvis mania. And last night was cool. I was at the Long Beach Laugh Factory again, and so they filmed down there. If you ever go down there, remember that they film. So bring yourself a little thumb drive. and they film, and yeah, because you give them the thumb drive, and then they hand it back at the end of the night, and then you'll drive
That's
down.
a sentence I never want to hear again. Bring yourself a little thumb drive.
Bring yourself a little thumb drive. Yeah,
Elvis would never say that.
exactly. That's why I don't know how I'm ever like Elvis. I love his music. I don't have his looks or his anything else.
Remember, they film down there, so you're going to want to bring yourself a little thumb drive.
Which is crazy because I should be red. You know what I mean? Because I'm a real red. I am red. I could be red. You could be Sunny. You know, Sunny red.
Yeah.
Give me some waters and some scarves.
Elvis, I always bring the thumb drive. You doubt me, and you know that I will always bring the thumb drive.
That's what we got. Colonel Parker. He told me to bring my little thumb drive. And
the venue should supply the thumb drive for us.
Hot dog it, don't you know, Colonel? I got the thumb drive that recorded my comedy set, and I was halfway up to 710. I forgot I did an amateur move. I left my thumb drive back in the comedy club.
If we have the thumb drive, we can upload to the crowd, and then you will be the greatest star of all time.
That's right. I can go international this time, King. You know, I can go international. Before I was limited to the U.S. of A., but now I can go worldwide.
You can go international. It's best if I do not join you on your voyage.
Now, Colonel Parker, I always wonder why you never went overseas with me.
I have a lot of outstanding warrants around the world.
And something about gambling debt, perhaps, but, you know, that's neither here nor there.
That's why I am a colonel. I declared more on my finances.
You know who I'm in love with now? I'm listening to, you know, I like my old school country music. So for the fans out there that are listening, and I want to tell you, there's some great stuff that you probably haven't heard of. You know, you might know Johnny Cash and Willie Nelson, Merle Haggard. You know, you might know Waylon Jennings, et cetera, but, you know, there was a guy named Merle Kilgore. Are you familiar with Merle Kilgore at all?
I've heard that name.
You probably heard the name, and he was one of the writers for Ring of Fire, Johnny Cash, Ring of Fire.
Okay, yeah.
He wrote a bunch of songs and was an artist himself. And then later in life, he was a manager of Hank Williams Jr. And this guy is like the Colonel in a sense. Like, he had showmanship. He knew. I mean, I've been listening to these concerts, and he'll open up the show, and then he'll close the show with Hank Jr. He's on stage.
Yeah.
And he'll say stuff at the end like, you know, come on down to the T-shirt table. The tables are still open. Get one for a friend. Show them where they should have been.
Didn't he, like, he would do something when he was selling merch that Hank needed to sign off on it.
Oh, yeah. He's like, I listened to this, and I was like, he said it like 7 times. I'm like, oh, that's really good. Like, he'd be like, you know, we've got to have a count. Hank wants to know what the count is. We got the T-shirts open. We need to know a count. If you're going to get and he would say Hank Jr.'s name 7 times. Like, Hank Williams Jr., you just saw Hank Williams Jr. And I'm like, that's so good. He just pounded. They just saw him for 90 minutes. Of course they know who but it just again and again and again, where it's like this legend. And that made me laugh, though, when he said he needs to know the count. Like he's really just finished a 90-minute show, and he's in the green room like, I wonder what the count is on the T-shirts. Like,
yeah.
You know, like,
he's on pins and needles about what the count is going to be.
But, dude, listen to this. I just heard a new story today. I was listening to a country music podcast, and they said that in Merle Kilgore, in his will, he wanted... First of all, the funeral was at the Ryman Auditorium. That's where they do the Grand Ole Opry.
Right.
And in his will, he wanted only one person per car. That way, he'd have the world's longest funeral procession.
Ridiculously long funeral procession.
Yes, and they said it worked. It worked. So even in the afterlife, he was still promoting. You know. If you look at his tombstone, I saw something online where he showed a tombstone, and it's a an etching of him, a drawing of him, and his hands are outstretched like he's about to play piano, and he's showing off all his rings. Because I guess that was a thing he would do. They go, "How's it going?" "It's going fantastic," and he'd stick his hands out and show you all the cool rings he has on. You know,
that reminds me of some of the tombstones that they have at the Hollywood Cemetery.
Yeah.
Like Groucho Marx, and his tombstone reads, "Forgive me if I don't get up."
Oh.
And Jack Lemmon's, it's so great. It's the tombstone literally says Jack Lemmon in and then that's it. You know,
That's funny. Oh yeah, the inscription on his grave says Merle Kilgore, and it has his date of birth 1934, date of death 2005, and it shows the hands with the rings, and it says, "Are you kidding me? I've made the biggest deal of all." Merle Kilgore. Here lies a beautiful dreamer, singer, songwriter, entertainer, and loved by all. I thought that was really cool. Wow.
Loved by all. I doubt that. I'm sure there's like a few bodies buried that are like, no.
You're like,
I do not love Merle Kilgore. Whoever had the second longest funeral procession hated him. They were like,
son of a bitch, he's upstaged me in the afterlife. No.
I should have thought of that. One person per car.
Here's another story I heard. Hank likes to go fishing, right? So they went fishing, and it was, I believe, Travis Tritt, Hank Williams Jr., and then Merle Kilgore's like, "Hey, I'll meet you up at the clubhouse for dinner or for lunch." So they had lunch. Hank walks away, goes back and does his fishing, and then Merle turns to Travis and he's like, "We have all these dates on the books that I want to close. I got to get Hank to say yes to these tour dates." He goes, "We got a lot of dates coming up, and I just got to get him to say yes because, Jesus could come tonight. Jesus could come tomorrow. Jesus could come next week. But at least we got the deposits." And I was like, "That's smart, man. That's what I'm talking about. Get those deposits."
I mean, I guess.
Well, I mean, it's probably a lot of money. So I looked it up online. I mean, I don't know what it was back then or this, that, and the other, but I saw like how much to book Hank Jr. and it said, one thing I read said $200,000. So if you're getting half the money, that's $100,000. And so, you know what I mean?
Yeah. If Jesus shows up tomorrow.
Well, yeah, I think that's true. Well, I think that was more like maybe he was being serious, but more like if something happens, at least we got the deposits,
Yeah, right.
Like COVID, when COVID happened, I'm sure a lot of people got so happy they got their non-refundable deposit.
Yeah.
You have to get a non-refundable. I found out the hard way. You have to say non-refundable deposit.
Yeah.
I did it. I had a show coming up at a theater, and supposedly the guy who did the deal didn't put non-refundable. So we're holding this date. Something came up. They got, and then they said we got to cancel your show. We need our money back. So he had to give his money back. I had to give my money back, and I was just like, "This is stupid." Then we realized you got to say non-refundable.
So what is the point of a deposit?
That's what I said. I'm like, "This is dumb." Like, I mean, dude, I do beatbox and flashlight. I don't look at contracts. Now I'm learning though, but
Yeah, those flashlights aren't free.
Exactly. I know. You got to pay for batteries. You got to pay for the flashlights.
Yeah.
But I remember I had an agent one time. I did a show, and the club, the check didn't, it bounced, and only some of it came through, and they were like, "You could take them to small claims court," and you're just like, "Why don't you take them to small? I mean, what do you do?"
Yeah.
Eventually, we got it all ironed out, but it was like, come on, man. Like, this is,
Yeah, I've been lucky that I haven't had a whole lot of deals where I'm the one doing the deal. I've just, for the most part, I've been featuring, But it's like, the different ways that they can scam you on that stuff, it's just crazy.
Oh, yeah. Yep. It's funny how there's yeah, exactly. And how with technology and how things change. And I'm seeing a lot of places nowadays that say, no cash,
Yeah.
Only use your credit card or whatever.
Yeah, that's wild to me. That they'll take forms of payment that didn't exist a year ago.
I know.
But they won't take cash.
It's so dumb, right? Cash is the real thing. Cash is king, man. Here it is. Here, you want $20? Here's $20. But now we're involving another person, and
we only take Bramble Patch and Apple Pay.
Oh, I don't have Bramble Patch. Do I have to download that?
Yeah, you just download Bramble Patch and you can pay us.
Yeah, put in your banking information and your exactly.
Yeah.
We get 3% on Bramble Patch.
Yeah, it's like I don't want Bramble Patch. I have cash. We had a whole tea party over it a long time ago.
I heard a story that Mitch Hedberg, I forget who it was. I forget who said the story, but they were traveling and they were, getting ready. They went to the hotel to go do the gig, and the guy goes, "Oh, we don't accept, And he's like, here's cash. He goes, no, we don't accept. And he's like, do you understand what this is? This is like, I'm giving you Frank Sinatra, and you're insisting on the Frank Sinatra impersonator.
Right. Yeah.
Like, take the real deal. Take the real Frank Sinatra. Here's the money,
Yeah, my favorite joke of his is along the same lines, the one about the donut, where he bought a donut at a shop, and the lady goes, would you like a receipt? It's a donut.
Yeah.
I don't think we need to involve pen and paper in this.
In this transaction, it's not.
Yeah.
Yeah. Dude, I haven't had a donut in a long time. I got the hankering the other night. I was driving home, and I was like, man, there's this donut shop that's open, and they have really good donuts. But I was like, I'm like, don't cave in yet. Just hold off a little bit and then get a donut. But don't do it yet.
What is your go-to donut when you get one?
My go-to is usually those. I love a good like glazed donut that's like warm and like so delicious. Like, I love a good glazed. I love glazed donut, man. I love it. I love the.
If you go to Krispy Kreme, sometimes they'll give you one, like a fresh one that just got made, just for showing up. Like, they don't charge you for it or anything.
No way.
Like, try one of these that just came out of the oven, sort of, or fryer.
Oh yeah, I think I've seen. Wow.
Dissolves the second it hits your mouth. They're so good.
Oh, they melt in your mouth. I love those.
Yeah, I have to be honest. You creeped me out the other night at Bob's Big Boy.
Oh no, what'd I do?
Aside from your criminal use of ketchup.
Hey, did I use? I don't think I used ketchup that night, huh? I don't think I was aware of it. Or did I? Did I use it? I don't remember.
I think you're on autopilot with ketchup. You don't even know you're doing it, but you're like secretly putting ketchup in there.
I know. I was like, you're right, because now I would be like, oh, he's going to notice if I put ketchup on. But I don't remember if I did or didn't. Yeah.
But that wasn't the creepy part. The creepy part was the girl. She was very nice. She came by and asked if we wanted dessert. And I had been in the mood for this for about a week. I like their brownies a lot. And so I was like, I'd like a brownie with ice cream. And she was like, do you want me to warm it up first? And I was like, yeah, that'd be even better. So she brings it out. You get nothing because I guess you're still on your no donut cake or whatever.
Yeah. It looked tempting, though. It looked real tempting.
Well, this is how tempting it looked. When I bit into it, you went,
Oh,
and I was
did?
like, that's the creepiest thing that's ever happened to me while eating.
Dude, I probably did do that.
I was like, what is happening?
So you bit into it, and I went,
Yeah. I was like, no. Please don't enjoy my dessert.
You're like, dude, this isn't how it works.
Yeah, I had to fight through eating the rest of it because I was like, what if that happens again?
Oh my gosh. That's funny you said that. I'm sure I did that. I'm sure I did it because the other day my wife made something.
You were watching it very intently as I was eating, almost like you were paying to watch. I was like, this is really...
He's like, I'm like living vicariously through you.
I've never seen him zone in like this.
It's so funny. My wife's been making this really cool steak fajita vegetable mix. It's so delicious, and she said that she goes, you know what you did, Darren? She goes, you said, this is good before you actually put the fork in your mouth. So I know I probably did do what you just said. I'm like, I don't even deny it. I go, I did that? I go, yeah, this is good. And it was before I even tasted it. Wow,
that's a compliment to her cooking skills.
Exactly. The anticipation.
This is good. I'm letting you know this now because a lot of other guys might not be as understanding as I am about you going, what are you?
I know. Like, yeah. Wow.
How did Darren get a black eye? Well, it's funny you ask. He was at an ice cream shop.
Yeah.
Some other guy was enjoying his ice cream. And Darren
Oh, dude, I just Googled the top selling donut, and I am so basic. The number one top selling donut is a glazed donut.
Yeah, well...
Dude, I am basic as it gets. I can't believe it.
well, they perfected it. It's
Yeah.
like it's simple. It's not too much. It's not too little. Okay, outside of, if you say chocolate, I'll kill you. Outside of glaze,
Yeah, I know.
what
Second
is
would
your
be, I think it's called a French cruller. Has all those lines on it.
it's not to be confused with the French kickler. Different thing altogether.
I like that, and I like the anything with like sprinkles on top or like nuts on top, like those kind of donuts.
Yeah. Now, have you ever had 7-Eleven does the Homer Simpson donut where it's bright pink frosting with sprinkles?
I bet you it's
like
not good though. Is it good, or is it sitting in the store for like who knows how long?
No, it's good. Their turnover is pretty fast because they just have a lot of customers at breakfast time. So it's usually very fresh. I'll get a croissant there every now and again. And it's great. I'll tell you, the best place to get a croissant in LA.
Yeah.
It's either called LA Donuts or California Donuts. And I just can't remember off the top of my head which one it is. But I drove by there once, and I'm not kidding. There were 40 uniformed cops outside of this donut place. And I was like, I bet the donuts there are amazing. Because that's one thing cops know for certain.
Right. It's not even it's really true. It's like it's a great place to hang, and they get their donuts and coffee. And
yeah, I was like, I don't want to go there right now because they could just look at my car and find anything wrong with it. And
you're
I'm out
18 inches away from the curb. Your frame is yeah.
I was like, I'll come back when they clear out, and I did. And I asked the guy, I was like, what's your favorite thing here? He was like, honestly, it's not even a donut. We do really good croissants. And I was like, I'll try one. And it's about, if you put both of your fists together, that's about the size of their croissants.
Oh, wow.
And they're super buttery. They don't need anything added to them. And if you heat it up, they're just excellent. It's like you can have one and that would be a total lunch. You wouldn't need anything else.
That sounds amazing. By the way, there's a thing outside the window. I don't know if it's Amazon or it's a truck backing up, but I'm hearing that beep, beep.
Yeah, that's on your end, right?
Yeah, it's on my end. So as you're talking, I might hit mute.
Yeah, the people in my neighborhood are totally professional, and they don't ever make noises like that. I don't know.
Dude, why do they make those? I mean, I know it's for safety, the backing up of the beep, 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 but it's like, dude, we all know you're out there. You don't have to keep doing it, but...
I find that half the annoying sounds in the world are there to protect kids from being killed. That
is true. That is true.
And it's like, I can live with that.
Yeah. So, and it stops.
I'll take a couple of beeps if a kid's not going to get a garbage truck smashed into him,
I know. I'm over here being selfish. Hey, quiet down. We're trying to do a pocket party podcast.
Right.
We got to talk about donuts, you annoying... Oh, God, they started up again.
Yeah, think of the children, Darren.
Okay, all right. I'll think of the children. So I Googled the top 5 ice cream flavors that reign supreme. And I have a feeling you could probably guess these 5 flavors or get real close.
You know what? Let's do this. Let me tell you what I think the 5 top are.
Okay.
And then you tell me if any of my guesses rank, tell me what they rank.
Okay. That sounds like a good idea.
I'm going to guess that number 1 is vanilla.
Correct. Number 1 is vanilla.
Number 2 is chocolate.
Number 2 is chocolate.
Number 3 could be strawberry.
Number 3 is strawberry. You got vanilla, chocolate, strawberry. That's it. Now, this is the part.
Number 4. Here's where it gets weird. Neapolitan.
Incorrect.
Okay. What's number 4?
How about you keep you get like, how about do 3 or 4 more guesses, because I think
I'll do 3 more guesses, and these are just things that I would choose.
Yeah.
Pralines and cream.
No, but I do like pralines and cream.
Rum raisin.
Nope.
So stupid. Rocky Road.
No, but you're close, I think.
Really? Okay.
It's one of those. I've actually had both. I remember one. I've had one of these as a kid. I remember, and then the other one. I don't know if I had it or not, but I know I probably had it as a 16 or 17-year-old.
Here we go. This is my final guess. Show me pistachio.
No. Number one. It was vanilla, chocolate, strawberry, mint, chocolate chip.
So stupid.
Dude, number 5, you're going to kick yourself because this is another delicious flavor. Cookies and cream.
Oh, man. I should have totally guessed both of those.
I know.
Yeah.
I like the rum raisin one. That was funny. The rum raisin. That's probably like the least favorite.
Yeah, I figure people are idiots and might enjoy rum raisin. But
I like rum raisin. I like rum. I like raisins. Yeah.
Right. But mint chocolate chip and cookie dough. Is it cookie dough or cookies and cream?
It said cookies and cream, but I love the cookie dough. I love that. Oh, it's so good.
Either of those are great. Now, I wasn't factoring in things like Cold Stone where you can make your own. Like, they do one at Cold Stone that I had called strawberry cheesecake. And it tastes exactly like it. It's so good.
That sounds good. They I went to Cold Stone like a few weeks ago. I got like, let me just try this, and it was pretty good. My favorite ice cream place in the entire world is up near Fresno. It's in a small town called Hanford, and I just read that they're going to sell the ice cream parlor, and it's been there for like 100 years or something. It's called Superior Dairy. Each scoop of ice cream is as big as like a grapefruit. I mean, it's huge. Some people will take the train and just get off at the train stop and go to that ice cream parlor.
Now, when they sell it, are the new owners going to keep it open, or are they?
I don't know. I mean, they shut down. Like, it looks like an old 50s diner. Like, it has that cool vibe. But then they stopped letting people sit in there since COVID. So you could only get the ice cream to go. So that was a big fall off for it. It was like, what are you guys doing, man? Like, it looks beautiful. Like, you'd want to go there. It looks like an old, like Arnold's from Happy Days. Like, it has that malt shop kind of like wholesome Rockwell vibe.
Yeah, there are a lot of places that they fell off and they couldn't get back up to code to open completely.
Yeah.
And it sucks because there are a lot of great places that are like, well, that was really why I went there, was the environment. Like, I love the Apple Pan on Pico. I know we've talked about it before. They do really fantastic hickory burgers and pies and stuff like that. But they were one of those that it took them forever to reopen fully. And I was like, they're going to go out of business if they're not careful. But then finally they reopened fully. And now it's like everyone was waiting for it because you go in there now and you can't find a seat. It's just jam-packed all the time, which is good for them, you know.
Oh yeah, that is, man. I got to go there sometime. I've heard of it, and I've been seeing like pictures pop up on Instagram of people like, it's my first time here, and or this kind of thing, or the food looks so good.
I'll tell you the things to do for sure if you go. Get a hickory burger because they make their own hickory sauce.
Can I ask you a question? I'm googling the menu, and I don't know if this is an old menu or the current prices, but it says hickory burger $7.10.
That could be right. I think, like just recently food is upshot everywhere.
Yeah.
So that sounds about right.
Okay. I mean, that's affordable. That's not like too crazy. It's not like, you know what I mean? Like $18 or $19.
They use really, really good ingredients. And I get their fries extra crispy. And I've never once done that where someone at the bar looked at them and was like, I should have asked for that. Because they do them. Like no one really does fries right anymore. They're usually like undercooked.
I know.
They're like kind of soft and gross. There, if you tell them like a perfect French fry should be pretty much brown on the outside and real crisp.
Oh yeah.
And then like really hot and soft on the inside. But what everyone's doing now is this yellow floppy bullshit that nobody actually likes fries right now. That's why people are getting sweet potato fries and stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Because it's like, if you have a French fry done right, there's nothing that compares to it.
Oh, I know.
But the way they're doing them at most places, and it's because it's like it's less calories if they fry them less and all that stuff. And I get that, but it's like it's junk food. Let your junk food be junk food.
Right.
It's never an order of fries is never going to be a salad. So stop trying to make it one. That's just not ever going to happen. So just do it right instead. I'll eat less of them done right. But like if they're done wrong, I'll keep eating, trying to get that runner's high.
I know. And then you ever done this where just out of habit you put cold French fries in your mouth and you're like, this isn't even, what am I doing? It's like,
yeah, it's just gross. Like McDonald's fries, they're underdone too, but they're still okay. But they're good for about a minute and a half. After that, if you try them, they taste like chemical. They just taste like a batch of chemicals.
Yeah, I think they used to use beef something in them that made them delicious back in the 80s, and then they stopped doing that, I read
Yeah,
somewhere.
they just break down too fast now, and they're just gross. But yeah, so if you do apple pan, tell them you want extra crispy fries.
I'll tell them Mike sent me.
Yeah, they'll stab you in the parking lot.
They're like, which Mike, Holmes? No.
And but get any of their pies are great.
Oh man, the pictures looked amazing.
They've had the same recipes since 1938, I think, for all their pies.
Yeah,
and they're really, really good. The only one I'm not wild about, but I'll still eat it, is their banana cream pie.
Oh damn, I usually like banana cream pies.
I like it, but they use big whole bananas in it, and it's like it's a cream pie. It's not.
You're like, I see a picture. You're right. You might as well eat a banana. Yeah.
It's not a banana pie. It's a banana cream pie.
The pecan pie looks really good. Oh my gosh, I love. Ooh, man, they go crazy with the pecans. Like the whole thing is just covered in pecans.
Yeah, my favorite one is their chocolate cream pie. That thing is awesome. It's the best chocolate cream pie that I've ever had.
That's good. I want to thank you for something. Two things or something that you don't know that happened. I've sprained my ankle.
Oh shit.
And yeah, it's I think I'm going on. It'll be 3 weeks tomorrow, so I'm okay. I could walk, and I had to do shows. I had to go to Las Vegas and walk a lot, but it was okay. I said, as long as I don't make any sudden movements and go left, go right, just go forward, I'll be okay. Right. But the thing I want to thank you is you made me aware of stepping on, like, people sometimes will pull a charger out and the two prongs stick up that they're supposed to plug into the wall socket. And you had mentioned that on the podcast that you had stepped on one of those.
Yeah, it's awful.
I
still, when the weather changes dramatically, I still feel pain in my foot from where that happened.
Oh my God. It's got to... Yeah, that's. Did they both go in, or just one, or?
It was a small charger, but it was one of those weird one prong.
Oh yeah.
It was just luck, bad luck, really. It was pointing directly upward, and I hit it just right. Like if I'd hit it any other way, it would have gone off to the side or something like that. Yeah. But I felt this sharp pain, and I tried to swat it away, and I was like, "Oh, that's stuck in there," and so I had to unstick it.
Oh, do. That sounds like a Devo song. Do. Stick it.
Yeah.
Unstick it good.
I did stick it good.
When a charger comes along, you must unstick it.
Yeah, so it was kind of like taking a syringe that was like 3 or 4 times the size of a normal needle.
But I'm always aware of that now because I keep the chargers, by the bed, and then in the middle of the night, I'm like, no, make sure these things are not turned upside down. Make sure they're pushed out of the walkway. Don't step on those things because an injury like that doesn't, I'm sure you must have been walking kind of strange for a while until,
Yeah, and it was off to the side, but it was enough to where like I said, I still feel it when it gets really cold.
Yeah, I sprained my ankle it was nothing. It was like I went hiking. It was even up a hill. I was at Griffith Park, and I was just walking, and I think I rolled it on a pine cone or something, and it was like, I rolled, and I fell down on the ground, and immediately you look up to see if there's any witnesses, and luckily there weren't, and I just kind of I was like, let me just stand here. And I waited about 5 minutes just stretching and trying to just, how bad is it? I can move my toes and my foot. And yeah, but it's one of those things I'm bouncing back from. But it's.
Well, luckily there wasn't like a bear or anything.
Oh, I know. What if you had to like run or get out of there or something,
He's weak now. Get him.
Yeah, finally. We've been waiting for this ketchup guy. No.
That guy's full of ketchup.
Yeah. But that was another thing I was going to say is I got the opportunity to work at Jimmy Kimmel's Comedy Club in Las Vegas. And
very cool.
it was awesome because usually when I do Vegas, it's at the Tropicana, which is, they imploded it. It's gone. It's no longer around. It's just, I did the Laugh Factory and it's just gone. So I got to do the Kimmel and the Tropicana. You had to do 14 shows, 2 a night, Monday through Sunday. It's a long week, and this was actually really cool because it was just Friday, Saturday, the best nights you want to be there, and all the shows were full. And
that's awesome.
It was cool. It makes you think like, man, I could really do this at a high level. We know we can, but then when you get those opportunities where you rise to the occasion and you're like, wow, I actually did it. Like I'm headlining Las Vegas. My name's on the marquee. My picture's out there, and I'm doing pretty good. Like this is, like
they seem to be enjoying it.
I know. It's funny because I've been doing, like I said, this Western thing. I really love it. I love the whole stuff. And I was like, okay, this is my last, the biggest move that I've done besides wearing a bolo was purchasing my first cowboy hat. And a few times on the road when I go out, because I figure if I'm headlining, why not? It's my show. It's kind of like, there's not too many local comedians to roast me. I've been wearing a cowboy hat like for the first minute on stage, and I take it off and I put it on the mic stand behind me, and then at the end of the night I put it back on and I say goodbye to everybody. But it's just kind of like a cool move. It kind of has like that showbiz kind of vibe for me, anyways. I love it.
They make cowboy hats that have lighting.
Oh, damn. That's a good idea.
Putting that out there.
The party starters in the house, and then the blinking light comes up.
Yeah. I'm sure you could get a custom like party starter cowboy hat.
Yeah. We were right across from Caesar's Palace, and that's where Garth Brooks was performing. And so on Saturday night, I came out and I go, hi y'all, I'm Garth Brooks, and they got a big laugh. But
and you don't know it, but you've started a war with Garth Brooks now?
Yeah, I did a couple jokes because he was in the news that weekend about some accusations. Some lady came after him, and then it just hit me in my head where I'm like, oh wow, what if this is a Caesar's property and there's somehow we're related, and I get kicked out of my hotel and fired right now? And I said, so I just changed the topic immediately.
I doubt they're going to do that.
You never know. I mean, I heard that, I don't know what he said, but I think Alonzo Bowden did something one year in Vegas. He made fun of a basketball team, and then apparently the owners of the basketball team owned the casino.
Uh-huh.
And then I heard that while he was on stage, they took everything out of his hotel room and put his bags and they basically fired him and kicked him out.
Wow.
I know.
That seems a little excessive for that, but
I agree.
I don't know. That's why I avoid sports and politics in general.
Yeah, there's no upside. Especially if you're just half-assing it. Like, I saw a comedian the other night, and he's doing political stuff, and it really wasn't doing that good. I mean, some of it was and then I noticed he just changed topics midstream, and he's like, hey, so anyways, and then he started doing great, and I'm like, that's kind of what people
I feel like most people that know what they're doing when they're going to a show are going there to forget their troubles.
Right.
They're not just there to be reminded of.
Right. Yeah, unless you're that kind of comedian where they're like, oh, we can't wait to go here. But if you're just like with musicians, imagine you're seeing some music show and then all of a sudden out of nowhere, I say we should spade and neuter all of our pets, or they just say something that's like, you're like, what? Can we just do your, like, what are you doing?
Yeah, that's not what we paid you for.
Yeah.
It's like, I have no problem with celebrities doing that on their own time, but it's like, no, these people paid hard-earned money to come be entertained. They didn't pay to hear your political views.
I know. And you're like, especially when it's like a room full of 300 people, and you're not going to change anyone's mind.
Yeah. like, go volunteer somewhere and talk about it there, or have a press conference. I think we should all be doing this or whatever.
Yeah.
But don't expect me A, to come to your show, B, to pay for parking, C, to buy food and drinks and stuff, and have you tell me how to vote. I don't care what your opinion. I just want to hear the Chumbawamba song or whatever.
And I would walk 1,000 miles, and I would walk. Yeah, man. We got to wrap up in a little bit. I'm running short on time. I know you're like, good. But first, I'd like to do a half-hour political speech about the do's and don'ts of living in Fresno and how we need to fix our potholes.
All the people I'm going to vote for.
Yeah. Let's compare ballots. No. Hey, by the way, before we go, because I do have to wrap up. What is how would you? We were going to do a podcast recently, but you were back in your hometown at a high school reunion, and how was that?
It was a lot more fun than I was expecting. I was dreading going to it, honestly. I was like, I don't want to, it's like I feel successful enough for myself, but I didn't want to be like, no, honest, I'm doing okay.
I know.
Going, you need money, so, But I was like, when I was on the plane, I started thinking about all the stuff I've been able to do. That I was like, if worse comes to worse, and like the school bully is there and makes me list off my accomplishments, I was like, what can I talk about? And I was like, I actually did a lot of cool stuff. So
you got to lead with Pocket Party Podcast.
Yeah, I was like, you guys keep scrolling. It's on there. Just keep going. Keep looking.
Yeah, you don't have the top 100 flavors of ice cream. It's kind of like that with podcasts, but he's in the top 300 at times in New Zealand.
Yeah. The big contingent in New Zealand that's super proud of.
Dude, I know I haven't been to a reunion, but I see some of the people on Facebook and everyone's really nice, and sometimes they come to the shows, but I think to me, I wonder if I would think there'd be more pressure at the 10-year reunion, because that's when everyone's still kind of young and you're trying to make your way in the world. But at this point, maybe some people are like...
I didn't go to the 10-year one, and from what I heard, everyone was like, nobody has anything figured out yet, so what are we doing?
Right.
But this one was very relaxed. Everyone was super supportive and nice. I got to see my old theater teacher.
Oh, that's cool.
Had a stroke recently.
Oh.
And so I was kind of worried about him, and he's recovered almost completely. He said he has some memory lapse, but it's all during the pandemic. And I was like, nobody wants to remember that time anyway.
Oh, heck yeah.
That's perfect, But yeah, so it was really good. It was a really positive experience. I got to see my mom and dad, and we went to... There's a legalized gambling up in the mountains, and we went and did that. We had a great time.
That's cool, man. I shout out to your mom. I love when she comments and leaves. She's very supportive of you and of me and my son. My son, Os, the bass boss, has been releasing some more videos on his social media, and some of them have been doing quite well. And your mom is very encouraging, man. That's really sweet.
Yeah, she loves anyone that is talented and trying to get things going,
That's great, man. Well, Mike, dude, I'm so glad to have you on here. I looked, and last year I think I only uploaded 10 episodes of this podcast, so I want to keep uploading more, because it's something I love doing, and it's fun, and it seems like the listeners like it, and
I'd love to come on anytime.
Please, thank you. Oh, and by the way, there's a new feature on Spotify. If you're listening to a podcast, you can leave comments. So you can leave comments if you're listening on the Spotify app. Look what I'm saying, and just leave a comment, and hopefully it's positive, and somehow it's going to help us. I don't know how, but somehow it'll help us. And
Tell us about your high school reunions, if you guys ever went to one.
Oh, please do. And if you have any questions in the future, we can talk about some questions or something, or we'll do a whole episode of Q&A or something like that. But leave comments on the YouTube channel if you don't mind. That'll help the algorithm, and also on Spotify if you got like an extra minute. But anyways, thank you guys so much. Thank you, Mike Black, and I'll see you at the Comedy Store, and I'll see you online. Thank you.
All right, bye-bye.
You got it, buddy. Bye. Well, look at you. You made it all the way through another episode of Pocket Party Podcast, episode 301. Man, I'm so happy to have you guys in my life, and I know there's a small group of you that listen to this, and I thank you so much. All right, guys. Have a great rest of your day. Don't hurt nobody. Be careful.
Everybody listen to Darren Carter. We all know he's the party starter. So if you want to listen to a podcast for free, then listen to The Pocket Party.